Welcome to the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast.
This pig came battling.
Just ended up puking last night. It sucked.
Whoa! Ah!
We gut it, we wrap it in tinfoil, throw it over the fire.
I know Jesse and I said last podcast on 100. I always laugh at that, didn't you? That was a good day, and that was funny.
Absolutely brilliant. What is going on?
Yeah.
TBLO, I'm back.
Yep, got the Redcoat on. It's been a couple podcasts ago. Last time he was on was with the Polish Hammer. We were talking about thermal hunting. Podcast 101, we're over that 100 episode hump. Awesome to be there. Excited to be there. Honestly, the podcast was kind of like just a side thing to the brand when we first started it, and to see that we're, over 100 now. And obviously we got our team that's always on the podcast, but some of the people we've met and been able to have on the podcast already, first responders are just really amazing. And honestly, it gives me an excuse to bullshit about hunting, which is awesome.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And new players as well. We've had new players on the team, and we've got constantly getting new first responders coming on. So it's always a great way just to introduce them to everyone and learn a little bit more about them. I think it's a nice touch to the channel. Definitely.
100%. So this podcast, it's January 6th as we record this on a Monday. As deer season's slowly winding down here in Illinois, it's sad to see it go, but I know a lot of people have already done hunting for the year. I'm always one of the select few who like to hunt all the way till the end just because I enjoy it. And this late season, this is a fun time, good time to fill the freezer and all that good stuff. So, but Ryan is going to recap his deer season for us, and then after we recap our deer season, we're going to discuss about some personal goals both him and I have, and then just what you can expect from the team and what our goal is for the brand this year. Yeah. But Ryan, good, take it away. How has your deer season went this year?
Success. I mean, my freezers are full. I had a fantastic time. I always do. My bow season was slow, but partly, and I've said this last year as well, I am being a lot more picky with the deer. I'm letting a lot more deer past, and I feel like, especially on the property that we work, we've got a lot of younger deer over the last year or two. So letting them live and letting them grow. But it does get to a certain point in the season where it's like, I can no longer let things go. And I had this discussion with my brother when he was out here with our Ash. It was like, end of the day, I'm not really in a position where I can be letting deer go, to be honest with you. It's a great thought, and wherever I can, I will. But when you've got a 3-hour drive there, a 3-hour drive back, you haven't really got a place to stay. A lot of nights this year are spent in my truck. I'd work 5 days with overtime, and then I'd leave straight from work with the 3 hours. I'd spend it in my truck. I'd get up, I'd hunt the whole day, hunt it hard, and then I'd come home, cook dinner out the bed of my truck over a little gas stove type thing, some noodles or something. Then I'd get right back in my truck, and that's where I'd spend the rest of the night. So it can be a bit of a lonely, excruciating that we're in, but I'm always one of them. You've got to do what you've got to do. I thoroughly enjoy it and stuff like that. So we had a conversation, and I'm not really in a position to be picking and choosing, and I should really take whatever comes my way, especially when my freezers are so low, because this year was worrying. I know I was texting you, I was texting a few of the others. My freezers was so low, starting to get to a point where, like, man, I'm going to have to buy a quarter of a cow here or something like that. And I didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? I want to stick to what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Bow season, a decent bow season. I learned a lot, let a lot of deer live, passed on a lot of deer, does and bucks, actually. And then we had my brother's camper. So, the only thing that was different this year is we didn't have the old redneck with us this year. He moved up to Wisconsin, and he was missed. He's always a good time. But we had a ball. We had an absolute ball. We learned more about the land. Again, we learn every year, but we learned more about the land this year than any other year. In fact, we actually found out that we've got permission on on a piece of a parcel of land that we've dreamed of hunting. This is where we've seen the biggest deer. This is where we see the chase, and we've set up 2 tree stands, which are about 40 yards away from the fence line, because we were always under the impression that beyond the fence line wasn't our permission. But I had a conversation with the farmer, and I think we spoke one day for about 2 hours. I was done hunting. I was packing down the RV, and I pulled up the map. I said, I'm looking at the map, and the land ownership is saying you go all the way up to that top field. He goes, yeah, that's all, man. So I'm like, what? So basically, you said, every time that I've texted you asking if I can recover deer, my mountain, my biggest buck I've ever shot, or the doe that I shot a few weeks ago that I never found. Every time I've texted you asking you permission to go look, it's been on your land. He said, no, I had no clue. I said, I thought you knew. So he looked at me, he started laughing. He said, well, I guess you'll be putting some tree stands up in the spring then. I said, absolutely.
That's funny. Yeah, because I mean, when I was with you and you killed that doe, it went over. Yeah. It's always been that spot. It's a good spot.
I let him know. And again, we've got all of that. And even tracking a deer during the time when our ash came, mate, walking up there, mate, honest to God, the amount of trails. I've never seen so many rubs on these trees. They're everywhere, all up. And, we knew this. This is where we see the majority of the deer every year, and that's why we hunt in our ashes stand, and that new stand that we put up is right on that fence line. But now we've got permission. So a couple of my goals, I know we're going to speak about them later, but I do want to get out for one more hunt. I've got space in the freezer for one more deer. That'll give me a great amount of meat for the rest of the year. But I want to get out. I'm going to try and get out next week because I've still got my bow tags, A. And then B, I want to do a thermal hunt to try and cull some coyotes off the land. And then C, I've got me 4 cameras with brand new batteries, 4 brand new SD cards. They're not cell cameras, they're just regular cameras. And what I want to do is, before I leave, I want to walk from one end of that ridge right the way to the other. Drop 4 cameras along trails either, mark them up, and then when I go back in the spring for turkey, pull the cards and see what we've got left after the hunt season this year.
That'll be good. Well, as you already kind of alluded to, your bow season was kind of slow. Yeah. If you just want to go ahead and get right into, your famous late November hunt camp going into firearm season.
The best. I do like bow hunting. It's a challenge, but I tell you what, there's nothing. Argue with me if you want. Put it in the comments if you want. Talk to us. Communicate. But there's nothing like shotgun season, man. Walking out there with a shotgun in hand, and the weather's freezing cold, and it's just a hell of a time. So we had some success. We dropped 3 deer. Another talking point that I'm going to bring up, and I hope that we can get some interaction from our fans, some comments on this, because I'd like to hear what everyone else thinks. I dropped a small buck. It was a 6-point buck. This was on the Saturday within the last 90 minutes. So again, a classic story, typical story, and every deer hunter is going to be able to get on me with this one. But I had a plan in my head. The night before, the top fields had just been cut. The corn was up super late. The day before shotgun season, right the way through the night, they cut the field. So obviously there was not much action on Friday. So on Saturday, I hunted in the thickets. And I said to myself, the last hour and a half, the last 90 minutes, I'm going to get down. And then I'm going to spend the last 60 minutes camped up on the edge of the cornfield, the new cut cornfields, under a big hanging tree with loads of bushes around me. Brilliant spot. So 90 minutes come and hunted all day. I hadn't had no action Friday, Saturday, still got no meat. I'm absolutely panicking at this point. I'm thinking, oh my God, at this point we've had 6 days. We've got nothing down. I've been hunting hard since October 1st. I've got nothing down. I've passed on everything. I wish I would have never have passed on anything. I should have shot the little ones. I would have had meat, and then this is when you're mad. Extra people oh my God, I've still got nothing, Yeah, it took me ass at this point. So 90 minutes comes, spent the whole day. I thought, yeah, all right, sound. Takes me, get me coat on, packs me bag on, sets me bag like it, hooks me thing on, puts me coffee cup on, me seat goes on me bag, put me bag over the shoulder, got me cameras. I clipped the GoPro on my shotgun, goes like that to put the shotgun over. I turns around to walk down the ladder. You've got to be fucking kidding me. I see it about 90 yards away, coming up the ridge, thick with trees, thick.
Yeah, it's thick.
You see it on the video, don't you? You know, there's only going to be
Mhm.
certain openings, and I'm not going to get much of a chance. I can't really, because I'm 90 yards, 80, I think it was 84 yards or something. So I'm not going to really be able to stop it. I said, I can't believe it. So I grabbed my gun real quick and I tried my best to clip the GoPro on the barrel of the gun. And I'm trying this, like, get it, but it's far and it's through trees. So I thought, oh my God, get it. Take the deep breath and bang, shoot my first shot. I thought, oh my word, drops the deer. I could hear death calling, you know what I mean, and thrashing about on the floor. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to put another shot. But I can't see it. I'm never going to be able to make the shot because it's low on the floor now and it's through all sorts of trees and brush. But after about a minute, it went silent. I said, oh my God, meat down, baby. I knew it was only a small buck, but I mean, it was a buck, so it's going to be good. So I got that and then eventually walked to the edge of the field, waited till it got dark and then went and got the buck. I just picked the buck up by the legs though, and I started pulling it and it smelt almost guts, rot. I said, put the shot back. So I looked and perfect shot, double lunged it straight away, dropped it on the spot. So then I lifted up its leg and underneath its front leg, when I tell you there was a hole in it this big, like put your fist in it, there was a hole that big, which was surrounded by pus. The meat on the inside looked like blackish, you know, because where the wounds had been open or whatever, it looked black. I mean, the deer was walking perfect, but you could fit your fist in this hole. So I'm like, oh my God, the one deer that I've got, it's got this big gaping hole, probably from a fight.
Yeah.
Because I can see the pus. I'm thinking, man, I might not be able to use this meat. So obviously I'm texting people, I'm getting everyone's advice, you know. This person says, yeah, just quarter it, throw it out, you'll be good. This person's like, oh, don't know if it's infected, you know, it might be this, that, the other. So anyway, I gutted it and hung it overnight. It was cold enough, let it hang. And it was actually the next day when I had a conversation with the farmer, you know, you go home and you Google it and you're like, can you eat a deer with an infection? But the farmer, I think he said it best. He said, like, it's infected, right? I said, yeah. He says, where do infections travel? I said, well, everywhere. He goes, through what? I said, through blood. He goes, where does blood go? I said, everywhere. He said. And he told me a story about how he had a bad pig. He used to raise head of hog. He said he had a bad pig and he walked in the house. His dad was cooking this pig and it absolutely stunk. It put him off pork for years. He said, you know, you don't want to be put off it. It could be good, but if you cook it up and it tastes guts or something or death, you won't ever want to eat deer again. So I took it to the butcher's on the way back through. I asked the butcher, he said, oh yeah, we see it all the time. We just cut the front quarters out and then we butcher the deer. So I've seen something else recently which sort of made me feel a little bit better. Like when you're taking it to butchers who are doing high capacity, especially up here near the city, you've got a lot of city folks. And a lot of city folks haven't got access to freeze dry the meat straight away and all that stuff, or hang the meat. Sometimes they'll leave it for days and that meat gets put in with everyone else's meat and it's like a shared pot. So I can walk away like saying I wasn't that guy. You know what I mean? I didn't risk it for everyone else using that butcher. The butcher said, it's fine. I see it all the time. We just quartered and then butchered the rest. I'm thinking, man, people don't want to be eating that, and I don't want to be eating that, and I share my meat as well to neighbours and friends, and you know, don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, I can say in my lifetime I've only shot one deer that had a similar injury, and it was a doe. She actually had been shot probably in the previous gun season, and it was the second gun season, and it had been rotten. So we didn't eat her. We just put her out of her misery. That was when I was a kid. I was pretty young. But it just depends. I've had deer with pus pockets before, but like it was just pus, and it wasn't like the meat was rotten. You get what I'm saying? So what I did is like if it's a front shoulder, like it was an internal injury or something like that, I just cut that shoulder away and then eat the rest of it. But something like that, like I said, I've only had it one time before, and we didn't eat it either. And honestly, it's hard for me to without seeing it, smelling it. It's hard for me to make a judgment call. What I was thinking at first, I'm like, well, yeah, front shoulder, absolutely don't touch it. Neck probably won't touch. Maybe the opposite shoulder is iffy. But like you might get the loins and and hinds is what I was thinking. But again, without seeing it and smelling it, that's a judgment call you got to make, and do you want to risk it?
Yeah, and you know what? The deer wasn't limping. It was walking normal.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that made me notice it was the smell. I'm 6 foot tall, so for me to smell it from 6 foot up, it smelled like art.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's what drew me to it in the first place. So, as I say, I give some bits of meat away, and I really enjoy deer and harvesting my own meat for the whole year. And I'd hate to be put off it. You know what I mean? I'd hate to get one sick. I'd hate to put bad meat into the pot and the butchers. I think I did the right thing with it, but it left me in a predicament then. I'm back to square one. I've got no meat. The last day of shotgun season was fantastic. The sun came up. We were in the stand about an hour before. The sun came up at 7. I was out the stand basically gutting 2 deer by 8 a.m. I had the 2 gutted them back at camp by 9. And then basically I got to just enjoy the rest of the day. Our Ash was out there, and I went back, hung the deer, packed down the RV, scrubbed the RV on my hands and knees, then packed everything in the truck. So by the time the day was done, everything was set down. The truck was loaded. It was a case of get in the truck and leave. So it worked out really well. I came home with two does, 2 nice-sized does as well.
Yeah,
and then what made me, I knew they were nice sized does, but when I went to butchers, you get people pulling up. Lad, you should have seen the size of some of these does, mate. Honestly,
there's some big ones.
Like I'm talking small ones at the butchers. Like I'm looking like even the butcher came out and said, "Well, you're not going to get much off that." One must have been a fawn that was born in April.
Yeah.
But, as I say, when you've got city slickers who haven't got access to land and they only can get out, 1 week a year, it might be the deer they see all year, and they enjoy the sport. Me personally, I'd rather wait till next year. But if it's public land that they're all hunting, which it probably is, they take anything, don't they? So
yeah, I know. Kind of one thing though, I want to say about talking about you. I know I got people around here sometimes give me excuses about, it's just hard for them to get out and all that stuff. And I always use you as an example, man, because I know you're traveling, 3 hours to get to your spot, and you're only hunting 10 acres, and you're grinding hard, and you always seem to fill the freezer. So, so kudos to you, man, 100%.
Yeah, and I'd love to run into any of them people that live by you that are saying that they're not fat. I'd love to run into them.
I'm gonna beat my dog. Let it go.
And for all you PETA activists out there and animal welfare people, when he says I'm going to beat the dog, he doesn't mean it. A dog's for life and not just for Christmas.
He keeps chasing our new cat that we got from the streets. So if anybody's worried about that, we took a kitten that got abandoned, fed her up, and now she's a fat house cat. But her and the puppy like the rough house sometimes.
Yeah.
But no. Well, anything else about your deer season, Ryan?
No, yeah. But as I was just going to say, I'd love to run into them folks that live out by you that say they can't find time to get out. I'd love to run into them. Just mate, if you want it so bad enough, and you doesn't matter what situation, everyone's busy, everyone works, everyone's got family. But if you want it bad enough and you like it that much, you're gonna find a way and you're gonna do whatever you can to get there. I was supposed to be going down to Southern Illinois a couple of weeks ago for a dog hunt, and I mean, every day I was texting back and forth, what's going on, checking in weather. We had a full moon the whole week before, and then basically starting the day before non-stop for the 3 days I was supposed to be there. They had torrential rain, so that was called off. I was gutted about that, but I know you seen the video last week. They just won a competition. The lads down south, they've absolutely smashed. I think they got like 25 or 24 dogs. And on the win.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see them the winning photo on the website with the TBLO t-shirt?
Yeah, that. So they went. So our team's got, they got the green light. Anytime they want to make anything custom, I send them the logos. They can do it. They did make some custom hunting jackets. They look pretty damn good.
Very expensive as well.
I bet.
Just need more. But I said to them, I said, you need to reach out to Cody. Before you said that, I said, you need to reach out, all the gear, you'd probably be able to do it a lot cheaper. And then you sent out that message like the same day. Saying, I've got that and this, that, the other, But next year, we're going to get better. And I know you sent that email out with the, and that was one of the things on it. What merch would you like to see? So we're getting there. We're going to get bigger.
Oh, yep. So that kind of brings up, get off of deer season a little bit. I recapped my deer season last year. We're not done yet. I know I got a couple hunts left in me. Ryan, I think, has got some couple hunts. So, we still got at least, I'd say, 2 more deer vlogs coming to the channel, people. So, but then after that, we'll go into the predator huntings. I already got a video ready to go. Ryan already knows about it. So, a little pig hunting. But then I know I'll be getting a whole bunch of video from Ryan, from Koss. So the Polish hammer, you're going to see a lot of the Polish hammer on the channel here real soon. And then hopefully.
I know, Dad, I am going to take over while you take a rest from your film. Definitely. Absolutely.
But then hopefully you will see Ryan and I out there as well with the thermals. I know that my goal is this week to get mine sighted in. So hopefully we'll be ready to go. But talk about 2025, talk about some, whether you want to call them goals for the year, New Year's resolution. I'll go first. I'll give you my personal goals, and then we'll let Ryan go with his goals, and then I'll end it with TBL go. Couple things, especially as first responders, I really think you need it. A lot of first responders I work with, it's just fly by the seat of your pants. And what I've noticed in the first responder field is we are very good about not budgeting or not planning our health or anything like that, because, we're getting held over a lot. When it comes to the financial side, it might be, I can just work more overtime, which you can. Face it, around the country, we're in a deficit when it comes to first responders. So most first responders can find overtime. But if you take that overtime, what else are you taking away from then? Are you taking away from your family? Are you taking away from your health? What else are you taking away from? So to me, I've done it in the past, and some years I've struggled with this. This year I have a goal to really follow my plan, my program, as I'm calling it, and, kind of balance that work-life, balance essentially. So number one, fitness. I did do better this year than I did last year. Last year I got to the fattest I ever been. This year I didn't hit that point. The fattest I ever been, 235. This year I never got that. I guess that was last year. I was 235. This year I'm already starting at the year as not about 15 pounds smaller than that, but I'm still around right now. I'm already lost 6 pounds for the year, but I started out the year at like 226 is what I started out with. So my goal is for right now, I want to get to 200 pounds, and then I'll reevaluate. For the rest of the year, though, my goal is not to get above 210 pounds once I hit that 200-pound goal. I'm sure when I hit 200 pounds, I'll decide, hey, do I want to still lose some weight? Do I want to bulk up a little bit? Figure out what I want to do. That's my one of my fitness goals here. Jiu-jitsu, and I do this goal very well until deer season, but I'm going to try to keep this goal even during deer season. At minimal 4 days of training a month. Again, a lot of times in the summertime, I'm getting, I'll get, with the schedule I'm on now, I could get 3 days a week. So that's awesome. But then again, I always take like a 2-month hiatus once October hits. So I'm going to try to avoid that this year. And again, that's 1 day a week. I can sacrifice one evening or one morning a week to go to jiu-jitsu. So goal of mine. And then obviously to help keep that below or 200-pound mark, stick with my daily workouts. After we get done with this podcast, I haven't worked out yet because I had the kids all day. I'm going to the gym. So that's my plan there. Financial, kind of what I talked about at the beginning about cops are very bad. I think most cops, I would say, are bad with their finances. Pay off some debts. I have a big debt when it comes to the farm. Obviously, I ain't gonna pay that off anytime soon. But I got a lot of other small debts that I can take care of this year. And I got some debt still on my daughter's ATV. We can get that taken care of this year. For the brand, we just bought it, and we'll talk about it when I get to the brand. But we bought some new machinery. Get that paid off this year. Get the thermal paid off that I just got, and just some credit cards and stuff like that. Again, I don't have a lot of debt other than the farm. It's just a couple hundred here, a couple hundred there, get it paid off. Kind of hit my goal in savings and checking. Just get enough money in there where I feel comfortable. I definitely need to build up that old checking account anyway, because in 2026 I'm looking at going to Africa. So gotta make sure I got that money for those animals. Farm. I don't know why, but honestly, I feel like I've been slacking on my farm management when it comes to deer hunting. There's more I could do, and I know I've had the same plans to do for the last couple of years, and I don't implement them. I'm going to implement those. So start really focusing on that plan. Dedicate at least 2 days or projects a month. Take the time to go do whatever I need to do. If I do, 2 days a month, I should be able to get a very good, either accomplish all my goals or at least accomplish 75% of them before deer season. When it comes to the home, the homestead, the farm, dog, damn dog. Homestead, I got to finish some fencing. So that's the main thing. Finish my fencing project, and then build a little lean-to I'm going to, because in the future we are looking at getting some cattle.
Still, yeah.
Yep. So plan on getting that done so we can get cattle when we choose. As Ryan kind of said during his hunting thing, we both love deer. Venison will always be probably my number one staple, but I do like me a good ribeye every now and then. We don't plan ever to raise a lot of cows at one time, but raise 2 to 4, and then sell them to family and friends. We definitely foresee that happening in the future. Got a couple house projects I've put off, so need to get those done, make the wife happy. But essentially, that is my personal goals for 2025. I think they're all doable, all stuff I can control, even with the hectic lifestyle of a cop, and with being a father of 2. But there's all things I think I can achieve, no problem. So, yeah. Yep. Now, what about yourself there, Mr. Redcoat?
I had my highest earning year this year ever. Next year I want to beat it. I'm not shy to put in the hard work. The only debt that we've got is the house and the car. I wanted to have over 20 grand in savings come the new year. I hit that goal. As I say, I hit the goal of making me highest ever earnings that I've ever done. I hit that goal. I would like to get the Jeep paid off this year. That's a hefty car payment, and because our goal is that the quicker I can get that paid off, then that's $600 that goes straight into the house. And I've only got about 8 years left off the house to pay, but with an extra $600 a month going towards the house, I could have the house paid off in 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? And which only means one thing, and I still look every single week. I'm on land search and land watch every single week for properties. So the quicker I can get this house paid off, the quicker I get my own parcel of land. And me and the wife, it's our dream to set up some sort of, eventually Airbnb, some glamping sites. I'd love a lake, to be able to do, daily fishing and stuff like that. Pay to play type thing, and a spot where me and the lads and my brother and my family can hunt out there and live off it. that's our long-term goal, and I just see it, the quicker I can get to it, the happier we'll be. You know what I mean? Rent this house, and the rent off this pays for the whatever's left on the mortgage on the land that we acquire. So that's a pretty big goal, and as I say, I want to achieve that goal within the next 10 years. If I can do it before 10 years, that'll be fantastic. Goals on the farm, you know, I'd really like to. Well, the first goal is we're going to get. I want to get cameras out, so that's why I want to go down. I want to do a predator hunt, and then I want to do a deer hunt in the morning, and before I leave in the afternoon to drive back. I've got 4 cameras ready to go. I've got four non-cell cameras, traditional game cameras, brand new batteries in them with brand new SD cards. I'm going to put 4 cameras right along the ridge on the trails that we've seen by the Rubbs. So when I go back in the spring, I can pull all the memory cards and see what's left over from this year, see if they're still using the trails. And then the second goal that bounces off that is I'm going to get another single man tree stand, at least 1, maybe 2, to go on the east end of that ridge and 1 on the west end of that ridge as well. I'm really trying to focus on that ridge. Big deer up there. The biggest deer I've ever seen it in real life has always been on that side, walking the ridge. So that's my second goal. The other goal for the farm is I would like to expand the food plots. I know we had a really dry spell, and I wanted to speak to you about this anyway. I drew me tags for spring turkey, so I'm going to plan on getting out for spring turkey. I think it's the end of April. I think I got season 3 or something, season 4. Speak to you and try and work something out, because I was thinking of getting some seeds as well, and after turkey season's over, maybe spreading some seeds in the spring, so it still gets a good chance to get watered in the spring in case we do have a dry summer. So I do want to expand the food plots this year that me and you started last year. So that's another goal for the farm. In terms of, I agree with you, it's hard to keep up with your fitness, but I started working out last March. I hit every single one of the monthly Apple goals except for November. And it's not that I wasn't working out in November, it's just that, like, when I went to deer camp, I didn't even take my watch with me. So, you know, I knew I would have hit goals, but bulked up a little bit in December, as you do, holiday season.
Just the season, and then January 1st started all over again with the healthy eating, cut out all the shite, and again I'm still working out every day and work. Even when I do 16 hours on my first hour break, I'll still do 30-45 minute weights, and then on the second one I'll do a 30-45 minute walk, you know what I mean? So even on a 16-hour shift, I'm still getting me 2 workouts in. So again, keep up the fitness and exercise throughout the year. And kill big deer. That one of the last goals for hunting is it's going to be our 3rd year applying for Montana, March 1st. So there's a party of 3, and every year, if you don't get a tag, you get a point. So the first year we got 3 points. Second year we've got a total of 6 points. This year a total of 9 points. Plus we paid an extra $100, I think it was last year, to get a bonus point. So this year, when we're going into the pot, we should have a total of about 12 points. So really hoping we're going to get it. I took my Jeep in and got an invoice there for a 2.5-inch lift kit with some naughty all-terrain tyres to go with it, some heavy-duty shocks and springs with airbags in and all that stuff. So I'll be putting the Jeep in over the next couple of weeks, and the goal for the Jeep is to get that ready for Montana. So I'm getting new springs, shocks, 2.5-inch lifts for a good western hunt. I'm excited and jealous of you doing that. I know we've been talking about it for years now, and I love going out west. Haven't been out west now, and a couple years now, and it's awesome. You're gonna have whether you get one or not, you're gonna have a blast.
You know, I think it's just over 1,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love it. My favourite time of the year is when my brother gets to come out. It's my favourite time. I look forward to it every year. The problem is it takes so long to get there, and it goes so fast. It's just unbelievable how time flies when he's out here. And I always look forward to driving the farm and driving back. But at the end of the day, it's 3 hours and it feels like it's 20 minutes. You know what I mean? But I think a good long 24-hour, 25-hour road trip to Montana, plus, a week or 10 days hunting out there, mule deer, whitetail, and it's just going to be
That's
brilliant.
part of the fun, man. That's part of the fun doing those road trips, and especially on the way there, you're so excited. And even on the way back, that was fun. And always something stupid or goofy happens when you're driving too. And that's just part of the story. Always funny, man.
And we've been saving for it now for 3 years. So the envelopes for the trip are sealed. So the envelopes for the tags fully paid. So when I get apply in March, we've already got the money, and then we've already got our savings for it. But we said, let's put 1,500 away. So we put 1,500 away. And he said, let's throw an extra 500 on top of it. We'll never spend that much money. The only thing we're going to spend on really is food and gas.
You will spend it. You're forgetting something. Taxidermy. Taxidermy once you back.
I know exactly. I mean, but other than that, but we just thought if it snows, we're going to need a motel. If we get a flat tire, we're going to need to. So we thought we planned all these things in advance as well. But we're not going to spend it on shite, is what I meant is. But we know butcher bills and then taxidermy. We're hoping that'll pay for that as well.
Yeah, like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited for you to go and hear about it, and of course we'll have podcasts about it. But then excited once you give me all the footage to take a look at it and stuff. I'm sure it's gonna be a lot, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, you know what? I want to put this as one of my goals as well, but I just can't see it happening. I want one of your cameras. If I had a camera like yours, I could have filmed the lads in that tournament this weekend.
Yeah.
It's just, if I'm driving all the way down, I don't want to be doing it on a GoPro.
Yeah.
You need that night vision that you've got is just brilliant.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, and if you were going to in Montana not during deer season, I'd send it with you.
Exactly. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get down. I'm looking forward to once deer season finishes, getting a predator hunting with you as well on the farm as well. We can clear some dogs out.
Yep, I got 4 or 5 properties that we can hunt already, and that's not counting whenever we get it planned. I might reach out to my buddy Woods at Coal Creek Outdoors that I went with, and maybe we get 3 guns to go in then, and he's got I don't even know how much property he's got access to, so and that would be on his YouTube channel as well then too. So and you guys will get along. He's fun. He's a good guy.
Definitely. Love to meet him. I'd love to do it with him. Yeah, it'd be brilliant. That I don't know how hardcore you are, but I know the last time I went down to Southern Illinois, mate, as soon as it goes dark, we're out. And until the sun came up the next morning. So it was rough. It was rough, but I mean, it's got to be done. You know what I mean?
Yep. Nope. I'm 100% down to do that if need be. So it'd be fun. Any other goals, Ryan?
Kill a massive deer this year, as every year. Do a little bit more work on the farm. Keep up with the fitness and health. Make some paper. Buy some new toys. Basically, that's where I'm at right now. I'm sure a few others will come in the mix eventually, but that's where I'm at. Be healthy, be happy. Started a new shift, so I'm a day shifter now, so I get to spend a lot more time with my wife. I think I've got to thank her for the last just on 3 years. We're going to go on 3 years in April. But I've had this job. She has been very patient. Basically, the only time we get to see each other is 4 hours on a Saturday morning, 4 hours on a Sunday, because she works the Monday, Friday, 9 to 5. So it's been challenging with the schedules, but being with day shift now, I can be home every night. I can cook meals, healthy meals every night for us. I'm here when she gets home and that stuff. So that'd be good. I'm excited for that. Biggest excitement, I think, for me with work this year.
That's awesome. I guess as being first responders, we should talk about that because, obviously you got stuck with the shitty shit for a long time, which that is very common in our fields. Yeah. And see, I've done the opposite. It was halfway through last year, and now I'm totally screwing it. So I was a detective, nice Monday through Friday shift, weekends off, worked out well for my wife and I. Of course, I now got promoted to sergeant, which is good. That's what I wanted. But now currently I'm on second shift. We'll be going to third eventually as well. So, I went from being high on the totem pole when it comes to seniority. Now I'm the lowest man sergeant.
Look at there's pros and cons to every shift, and I always say this to everyone at work, but every shift has got its pros and cons, and if you can find the good in something, you want to try and stick with that. But like when I was on afternoons, because we've hired some new folks, I was up, maybe in the top like 33% on the schedule. Now that I moved to day shift, I am rock bottom.
Yeah.
Bottom. So,
Yep.
But there's pros and cons. There's gives and takes. I'm just super grateful. I'm home every day. By 3:00, 2:45, I'm home, and it's great because I finish work on Sunday. At 3:00, I was home, and by 5:00, my week's laundry was done and put away. The house was cleaned. And I still got 2 days off, so just super grateful for it. So I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good. I'm happy for you guys. Well, we'll kind of end this with our goals for the Thimble Line Outdoors. So a couple things. I want to grow our YouTube, so we are less than 20, I believe, right now, away from 2,000 subscribers, which is crazy. I know, compared to other channels, it's small, but like for us, the fact that we have almost 2,000 people who like to watch us and enjoy it, that's awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. And I think we can hit this goal. I could see one or two things happening when I say this. Either we're going to just barely get it by the end of the year, or I could see us blowing it out of the water depending on how the year goes. But I want to hit 3,000. I want to get 1,000 over the year. I want to hit 3,000 subs this year at minimum. So another thing, financial. I want to make this clear because I actually had one of my guys at work actually said something funny to me. He goes, "Well, you're probably making good money from your brand," and I laughed at him. So us as a brand, I'll be 100% honest to people. We haven't made money, but that's not why we started this either. I'm like, yeah, cool. If we make money one day, that's awesome. But the goal is to get other first responders into the outdoors. So every time you buy a hat, a shirt, anything like that, we put that towards the brand. And what I mean by that could be getting more inventory. That could be upgrading our camera equipment. That could be paying for some of these hunts that we're going on, bringing first responders like the hog hunt or something, paying in advance of the next year's shows, or upgrading our equipment when it comes to making merch. When I bought the screen press so we could start charging a fair price for merch, and that was $2,000 that year when I bought it. This year, one complaint I've heard consistently from some of our customers, and it is a problem, and I'm going to fix that problem, is our hat patches. One or two things. Sometimes you get creases on it, which I don't know if you can kind of see. Like I always keep the crease hats for myself usually, or our team members.
Shite.
Yeah. So the crease hats, from the heat press, which I did upgrade a heat press last year, that did help with the creasing issue. But it still happens from time to time. It's just nature of the beast when it comes to the heat adhesive. When it, gets heated up, starts tightening the fabric, sometimes you get weird creases. And then one issue, especially from our Wisconsin guys who are having more issues than this than what we are, they are hunting in such extreme cold weather. The heat adhesive, whatever adhesive is being used, doesn't like the cold. So not every hat, but some of the hats, the adhesive starts peeling off once it gets super cold out. So how do we fix that? We bought a machine that we will now stitch every single patch. So that'll take care of our creases, and that'll take care of that. So it's going to be a little bit more time on my end. Hopefully, Ryan will come down. I'll teach him how to do it sometime. But it'll be a lot better. If you ever look up a hat stitcher, though, they ain't cheap. I caught a holiday deal. It still cost me $1,500. So that's as a brand, I decided we're going to do that, and I'm going to give my core guys a shout out. Ryan, Kyle, Jesse, and Nate, they all give a small portion every month. That's where honestly most of their money went to this year was that machine. So that's we are going to slowly upgrade. So hopefully I don't see myself at the moment buying any more merch equipment. I think I have everything I need. So hopefully we're done for that cost. But obviously we still have inventory, future shows. I know in 2026 there's already a show or two we're thinking about adding, but we'll save that as that comes closer. So again, this year, all our sales are going higher. So let's hopefully we break even as a brand so we can do more cooler stuff.
I've just had an epiphany here.
Yeah.
Maybe a little idea that we can tap into eventually some point this year, just thinking of it. We'd be happy with donations, right?
No, yeah.
Every company, small business would be grateful for donations. So my brain's thinking, if you want to donate to the channel, I mean, that'd be fantastic. It would help with equipment and getting more first responders into the woods. And then, then I thought, is there any way we could do like what do they call it? Like where you like an auction or something, raise money for the channel, and maybe one of the prizes could be, a hunt with the team where we could set up like
when we are not recording, I have plans for 2026. So we'll have to talk about. I'll be honest, the reason we're not implementing these plans in 25 is, as you know, my wife is doing a career change, and I'm going to be pretty tight, but we're on the same page when it comes to plans. So,
ladies and gentlemen, every small business can do with donations. Our donations will be put right back into the brand. I'll put first responders into the woods to help with mental health. We'll buy equipment and all of that stuff. So if you're feeling generous this year and you've made a lot of money, do what I do. Put your hands in your pocket and donate to the thing.
I will put on our website, there will be a donation button that you can do. I'll do that before this podcast comes out. So if anybody feels inspired, we would greatly appreciate it.
Let me just do this. If you're feeling lucky, donate here.
Perfect. And I'll put it the link right there.
You find the link right here to donate.
Other goal for us. I want to average, and we do again, I think I talked about this in podcast 100. We go through spurts, we do really good with it, and then we kind of slack off, and then we do really good again. But a minimal 4 podcasts a month. That's about once a week. There is some months where there's 5 weeks, but I'm going to try at minimum so 4 podcasts a month throughout the year. I think we can do that, no problem. We got enough team members now. We have 18 team members, by the way, to anybody who's wondering. So we have plenty of team members, and then I know there's plenty of other cops and other first responders we can get on the channel to tell their stories. So start doing that. Personal goal, that's again for me. But it goes with the brand though. I want to get better with my storytelling abilities when it comes to the video, which will require some team members to do a little bit better when it comes to their filming about the storytelling process. Listen, this year is our best year when it comes to getting kill shots on camera. So everybody appreciate that. But to tell the story, we're going to need more interviews. We're going to need more B-roll, all that good action shots, all that good things.
One of my last year was to increase B-roll. How did I do this year? Did I hit me goal?
I thought over your especially your camp with your brother, I thought you did really good other than one thing, which we already talked about.
I don't know what you're going to say, but it is, I thought that I'd done really well and I hit my goal this year of B-roll. I smashed it.
By far your best year.
That was, I missed me fucking kill shot, or the kill shots was shit.
I mean, shit happens. But I wasn't mad at you at all for that. No, I thought your storytelling ability is really good. I thought you did a really good job with that. The thing I'm going to say is, yeah. That was it. That was my only thing. You made my job difficult.
No, I don't. It's every year. But just know that I'm just there to make you better. I'm just here to be the best. I bet you learn more. So hesitant when you're working with my stuff.
100%.
else's.
100%, 100%. So yeah, so that's where oh, that's another thing. So help with that storytelling ability, and I got to thank Ryan for this. But we bought a drone, so not only does Ryan have a drone now, we have our drone. So we'll definitely be using that and get those drone shots everybody likes. Again, overall, this kind of goes under the break-even financial. We obviously want to push our products a little bit more, especially the coffee and everything else. This was our best year. I see it happening again. We just keep, we haven't stalemated at all. We keep going up at a slow incline. If we keep doing that, I'm going to be happy. And then again, another personal goal for me to do with the brand, I want to get a minimum of 2 new first responders in the woods. I already got 3 of them who are interested. One's 100%, I think, down. The other 2 are iffy. But even if those 2 back out, find another one and get them in the woods. So,
yeah. And one of the reasons why I brought up that auction, like to sponsor, I've got a couple of people in my work who are proper city slickers, but I've got females that work with me that constantly. I want to go hunting. I don't know if I could kill anything, but I just want to go. And it made me think. It's like you might not want to pull the trigger. You might just want to sit there and watch me pull the trigger. But then it got me thinking, why did you want to come out? So I know they're watching the content, and I thought, well, it's obvious. It gets them out the city. It gets them away from the concrete jungle, the work. It gets them in nature. It's great for mental health and for peace.
100%. 100%.
And that just got me thinking, it'd be cool if we could find a way to sponsor a hunt where, like, we can get sponsorship that, that's for you to set up, you know what I mean? And
well, let's just go ahead. We'll throw this out there for the people. I did not plan on doing this in 2025, and I'm not doing this in 2025. But this is an idea that I was going to hopefully start implementing in 2026. TBLO, hunt packages. So essentially, we would probably start taking applications, and we would ask people for donations or sponsors for these different hunts. But certain hunts that we do every year, we would start inviting first responders to get first dibs, obviously, and you would fill out the application process, and you'd be like, hey, I'm so and so from this area. I want to do a hog hunt, a turkey hunt, a deer hunt. And we would go to some of the hunts we do every year. It could be, hey, and every February I go to Texas. You might only be responsible for your transportation or something. You come with us though, and your first hog and your lodging's paid for. Turkey hunt. I got a good spot, good place to kill a turkey. Maybe we do a spring turkey hunt at the Johnson Farm. Maybe we do an early season bow hunt at the mini farms we have access to. Something like that, where I thought we start taking these first spawners out and we take applications essentially, and this also gives people to sponsor hunts if they so choose. Heck, now with our thermals, again, as you know and as I know, it's expensive to get into, but we're getting enough thermals out there. Why can't we sponsor a January to March before it closes out, a dog hunt down in either Southern Illinois or up by us?
Yeah, and you know what? I've got 2 thermals, and my brother paid for one of them. But every time he comes over before he leaves, and this is before you got yours, he'd be like, get on Boom. If Boom wants to use my scope, or on Jesse, if Jesse wants to use. So he's like that, you know what I mean? If he can help some, he will. So I've got 2 scopes there, and I even brought it up to Jesse over Christmas. When I'm coming down to Wisconsin, I done it last time. I'll drive down overnight, I'm going to come down to yours. I've got 2, so I'll be happy.
Correct. Yeah. So that's something. Oh, and then I didn't think maybe even our fishing charter that we do. Come fishing with the crew. So that's something that we're thinking about 2026. I don't have all the, all the details yet, but it's something I've been thinking about. Essentially, and that's a good way for us to get first responders out into the woods. So
packages we can put together. We can take 2, we can pair up, and you'll have a cameraman, you'll have a spot, equipment if you need equipment, scopes or crossbows. I've got 2 crossbows now. Just stuff like this where it's easy to get them in the stand put them behind an animal, maybe put them behind a scope and give them the opportunity, all while being filmed by one of the crew. If you want to do a hunt with me and be filmed by Boom, if you want to hunt with Boom, I can be your cameraman, or something like that. I think it'd be really cool. And I've got one or two people in mind, but I've got one particular female at work, and she's super cool, but she keeps saying, I want to get out with you. I want to get out, and I just keep thinking why, and it's it's that escape. It's definitely escape.
Yep. So yeah, actually, guys, if you're listening to this podcast and this seems something you might be interested in, comment below, send me a message, something like that. Hunting with TBLO crew. As Ryan said, could be any one of us. Probably be some of the core guys, but it's definitely something that we're thinking about doing in the future. So yeah. I really don't have anything else, Ryan. Do you have anything?
No, just to recap. We had a fantastic year. We do it for yous, and it really showed this year with the numbers and the subscribers. Super grateful to every single one of yous. We need the hours, so we're going to try keep producing good content that keeps you smiling, keeps you laughing. We need the hours. We need more subscribers, so tell your friends about us, any first responders that you might know that might be interested in anything we talked about. We had a fantastic year. The whole team did great. We've got our freezers filled. As Boom said, we've been on this upward spiral this last 2 years, especially exponential growth. We want to go into the stratosphere. We're not going to stop. We want to hit 2,000, and we'll have that in the next week or two, I'm saying. And as Boom said, this year we want 3,000. I'd go as far as saying, with your guys' help and the momentum that you can help us build, 3,000 should be easy for us to get. Absolutely easy. So we appreciate the support, everyone that bought merchandise, everyone that bought coffee, showed up at the shows, came to meet us, sent us messages and footage. We love you. We appreciate you. We couldn't have asked for a better year this year. We want to make it even better. So let's pull together. Let's stick together. Everyone be safe out there. As always, we love you. Thank you very much for your support. It's been a great year.
Per usual, I can't beat what Ryan says. He just has a way with words. So all that, thank you. And make sure you like and subscribe. Be safe out there.